So Patrick, welcome to the program. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So let's skip the buzzwords and the shiny objects. What is IT modernization really?
Yeah, absolutely. The role of IT is really to drive productivity, to empower our employees. So modernization is to continue to deliver productivity gains, while at the same time, I think these days it's about meeting the user experience, expectations of a modern user. So you're not just competing with other corporate apps, you're competing with the experience when you're on an e-commerce site or on a search engine. And then finally, kind of the area where I focus is really around security and privacy. So as we're implementing these productivity gains, we need to ensure that we're not compromising the privacy of our users or the integrity of the data that they're working on.
How does modernization affect people though, whether it's those in agencies or the Americans who depend on these services?
Yeah, I think from the security perspective, as more and more of this data is made available, it's as part of these engines, the big focus in recent years is around protecting the integrity of that data and the confidentiality of that data, making sure that somebody can't access that. And really the big focus this year is really around the privacy of users, right? As you are kind of forced to give up quite a bit of personal information, making sure that that's going to be protected and that whoever has that data is going to be a good steward of that data.
So what's the biggest story in federal IT modernization today?
Yeah, I would say today it is remote access, right? As we look at sort of how you grant access to applications, NIST has published documentation around what they call the zero trust model. And really what that's about is ensuring that users are not on a trusted or privileged network segment at layer 3 co-resident with the application. So as you remove trust from the network, different architectures start to emerge. So it's about securing that data, whether a user's in the office or whether they're remote. And then also, standing up to the test, we're seeing massive shifts in traffic flows. So as more users, there's a surge in remote users, are you forced to bring all of that traffic back to a couple of centralized points with some pretty frail pieces of equipment, only to turn it around and leverage infrastructure as a service, platform as a service? Is there a more efficient way? And I think we are seeing more modern approaches to remote access that deliver that security benefit and then also have much more efficient traffic flows right at the edge of the internet, implementing that security control so that you get away from those inefficient traffic flows and you can surge. Should your users need to work from home at the drop of a hat, you can respond to that efficiently.
And finally, what's the biggest risk agencies face today with their IT?
Yeah, I think one of the challenges is if you go back 15 years ago, innovation typically would be delivered in the form of a box, right? If we started a company, we would do something innovative and we would deliver a box that you could put in your data center. That model seems to be outmoded. Most of modern technology, whether it's security or something else, these days the service delivery model tends to be platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. So I think a unique challenge for the federal government is availing themselves of this technology while also meeting the very serious security requirements that the government has to leverage this type of platform, right? So can you tap into COTS platforms and all that innovation that's taking place while still meeting the security requirements of the government?